My name's Liz Clark. Today I want to address this problem I'm getting with my legs because I had swollen legs, swollen knees and other leg issues forever. I have a neurologist. I told the neurologist previously when I saw I had showed her the swollen legs. She wrote in her report that I think I've got swollen legs. So therefore that's when I started videoing and putting on YouTube my swollen legs. And I thought, well, seeing as you can't even see my swollen legs, and I can, I better try and cure it myself. So I attempted to cure it and I used different methods. Water tablets helped, but then they're an indication of something going wrong inside. But they did help. And I used milk thistle, and that helped to cleanse the liver, is what I understand. Now then I thought about, well, what happened is they came and said, oh, the doctor's saying, oh, we need to give you Vansatin or something like that, which is to cut down the fat in the body, because they were saying, oh, my cholesterol was too high, my sugar was too high. So I thought, well, I'm not cutting out my cholesterol because I have a belief that the body needs cholesterol to cover the nerves, and my nerves seem very damaged, even though the neurologist can't really explain much of anything of my neurological problems. So I see it as, well, the body needs the fat to coat the nerves to help them. And so I don't actually agree with reducing cholesterol, but I understand, it can clog the arteries and so forth. But then when the sugar was coming back high and she wanted to put me on drugs, I thought, you know what, let me cut out the sugar, because I don't actually think I need sugar in my life. So I reduced, because you can't actually cut out sugar because it's in everything, but I reduced it as much as I could. And I mean, I wasn't sitting there eating bars of chocolate. I was drinking fruit juices and eating healthy bars, but when you start looking, it's full of sugar. So anyway, I stopped using the sugar, and within 3 days of reducing my sugar, all the swelling went down, and I videoed it and showed it on YouTube. Well, then also, as a result of that, I've lost quite a bit of weight, because that was obviously keeping my weight up. Anyway, I'm doing really well. Next week, I had the blood sugar was 44, whatever they measure in here. It was 44, and they need it at 42. After 42, then you become like a risk of diabetes, which I don't need. So after 2 months, because the way it calculated, I ended up having the blood test before it was needed. So I had it at 2 months, which was too early to test the cholesterol and the thyroxine. So we tested just the sugar at 2 months after reducing my sugar, and I'd got it down from 44 to 42, which is an okay. But then when I spoke to the doctor that I talk with, and he's trying to help me, but there you go, because I've got to leave that surgery now. But he said, oh, well done, but ideally 30, and if anyone can do it, it's you, Lou. So I'm aiming for 30. Next week, I'm meant to have a blood test there, and then after that I have to find a new doctor's surgery, apparently. So anyway, before that, so I'm doing really well. And I believe it'll be down lower than 42 when we test the blood next week, and then I can look at the thyroxine, which was normalised, but I'd like to reduce it, but I need to look at the cholesterol. So we'll measure the cholesterol as well next week, and I reckon by default it will go down, because the body won't need it as much because it's not inflamed, because I see now that the sugar was causing the inflammation, which was causing the swelling. And then you take, you can reduce the fat all you like, but if you don't get rid of the sugar, you're not going to get rid of the cause of the inflammation, which is why the body wants the fat to protect you from the inflammation. So anyway, without the inflammation, I can show you now that, I showed a couple of months ago the reduction in my knees, but I can show you even further. But my point is not just my knees. So let me just show you how my knees are doing, so you can see they're a lot better. But that's the one that used to be swollen more than the other. But you can see now they're not that swollen. But then what's happening is this is why I make the video as well, is because it's not just down to me and, oh, well, you see, greedy cat, she had too much sugar. Because what I'm dealing with in life is what some people would label targeted individual, and they'd say I'm a targeted individual. But I don't like that term because I know that I'm a government mind-controlled slave, MKUltra people call it, and therefore I'm not targeted. It's not, I mean, people talk about targeted individuals and they say the government target them and to hold them back, and so they'd say, oh, because I'm a whistleblower they'd be doing this to hold me back. No, because I know I was programmed, and therefore if you're programmed, you're hardly targeted because you've already been targeted from the day you were born to be programmed. So there are people that aren't programmed and targeted, but a hell of a lot of people who are targeted are programmed, but they don't actually know they're programmed. So that would be another video. I do know, and therefore what happens is I find my marks on myself, which then, I mean, they'll cover themselves and say I do it to myself or something like that. So anyway, I'm sure you I don't do it, but you never know because I'm a programmed multiple, so you never know. But what happened was this week, I just want to show you because I'm doing really well with my legs, and you never know, it could all go tits up, couldn't it? Because last Sunday just gone, which was the 25th, then I found in the morning a bruise, which I'll try and show you, on my ankle, on my left ankle, which is of the foot. This is the leg that swells, and then the lump on my ankle, it wasn't terrible to begin with, and then it gradually got darker. I don't know if you can see it. I felt it as I was putting my socks on. I felt it, and I mean, this is from Sunday, but it's sore and bumpy, and the bruise got darker through the week, which means someone's gone like that and pressed hard, and that's not nice, and that's not going to do much good to my circulation, is it? And getting rid of the problem. And then what happened was Wednesday morning I found this one. So, let me find it, which, this mark, here you go, there's at the back of my leg, if you can see. This mark, anyway, that is not painful at all. And as you see, it's a big square, and I found that yesterday morning, Wednesday, and straight away they're dark, because I think it was done with a taser. So obviously someone's going for that leg and doesn't want me walking or something, I don't know. But therefore I'm combining the two. So that's that leg, so if I can show it, I don't know how to show it. I'll show it in my mirror. It's very hard to show these things, because I mean, I'm not meant to find it at the back of my leg, but because I'm sort of looking after myself, it's happening. So they're my recent marks. That doesn't help with my healing of my legs, does it? But there you go. So the legs are doing better. Next week is the new blood test, and I should be talking to that bit, shouldn't I? I don't know. This is my first time using this camera, because the other phone, the camera's, I think it cracked or broke. So yes, there you go. So anyway, next week I'll update you on, or it takes 5 days to get the blood results, so I don't know if there's going to be a palaver, but we'll see. It's due to be that I book it for next week, the blood test, and then we will see. That'll be like 6 months of reducing the sugar, and we'll see. Alright then, so truth will set us free, won't it? Bye.